This one is a bit messy because it's not really about the money. It just looks like it at first. So this woman, she's 35 and has been dealing with infertility for years. I mean, properly trying. Treatments, hope, disappointment, repeating that cycle until it just wears you down. Her marriage didn't survive it. Her husband left, remarried, and now he's expecting his second child with someone else. And she's still sitting there, trying to make sense of a life that didn't go the way she thought it would. That kind of thing doesn't just go away. It sort of sits in the back of your mind, even on normal days. So she leans on her friends, especially one in particular, Pam. They've been close for years, and Pam's in a similar situation, just a bit earlier in the process. She's married, and she's about to go through IVF, hoping it works. So there's this shared understanding between them, not something they have to explain to each other. At some point, Pam asks for help paying for the next IVF cycle, and this woman says yes. No hesitation, no condition. She just writes a check for $12,000 and hands it over. Just, here, I want this to work for you. Which, let's be honest, it's not a small gesture. That's not casual help. That's real support. Pam is grateful. Everything seems fine. And then the next day, something changes the whole scenario. She gets a message from another friend, Beth. Just a screenshot, no explanation. And when she opens it, it's a conversation between Beth and Pam. They're talking about the IVF cycle, the pressure, the hope that it works. And Pam says something like she really hopes this cycle works because she doesn't want to end up divorced, watching her husband marry someone younger and have kids with them, while she's alone at 36 without a family. And it takes a second to land, because that's not hypothetical. That's exactly what already happened to her. So she just sits there for a minute, rereading it, trying to figure out if she's misunderstanding it, if maybe it's just worded badly. But no, it's too specific. The age, the situation, the details, it lines up a little too neatly. And the part that seems to sting the most isn't even the comparison, it's the tone. Because it doesn't read like fear, it reads like an example, like a scenario you'd bring up to make a point. And she doesn't message Pam, she doesn't argue, she doesn't ask for clarification. She just quietly calls her bank and cancels the check, which says a lot about where her head was at in that moment. Sometimes people don't react loudly, they just remove themselves from whatever hurt them. Later that evening, Pam calls. She's confused at first, asking why the check was cancelled. And this is when it all comes out. The message, the screenshot, and the way it sounded. And Pam immediately pushes back, says it wasn't meant like that, says it was an inside joke, something between women going through infertility. Which is a strange explanation, because there's nothing particularly light about what she said. And the more she explains it, the less it seems to line up. The next day, Pam shows up at her house with her husband, and they're asking her to rewrite the check, saying the timing matters, that the cycle is coming up, and that they're depending on this. And now it's not just a conversation anymore, it's pressure. Her husband steps in, saying that she's not being supported, that Pam has been there for her through everything, and this is how she responds. And it turns into an argument. Everyone talking, no one really hearing each other. She refuses again, and Pam leaves crying. And after that, it gets a bit uncomfortable. Her husband, Pam, keeps reaching out, reminding her that the IVF timeline, the money, and what it was supposed to go towards. At the same time, he's blaming Beth for starting all this, calling her toxic, saying she twisted things. And now the situation has split into sides. Some friends think that she's overreacting, that it was just a poorly worded comment, that cancelling the check was too much. Beth, on the other hand, is fully on her side. But even with that, she feels uneasy, because this isn't just a disagreement. This is a 15-year friendship sitting right in the middle of it. And she keeps going back to that moment, rereading the message, replaying how it felt. because it wasn't just about what she said. It was about realising that someone who understood her situation still used it like that. And sometimes the hardest part is recognising how they see you when you're not in the room. So she ends up deciding to take a step back. Not in a dramatic cut everyone off way, just distant. Because things feel off now, and she can't quite put them back to where they were. And I think that's what's sitting underneath all of this. She didn't expect this kind of hurt from Pam, and that's usually the part that catches people off guard. It's one thing when someone doesn't understand you, but it's another when someone who does still gets it wrong. So now she's left with this question. Did she overreact? Or did she just respond to something that crossed the line for her? Because giving someone $12,000 is a big act of trust. But taking it back, that's a decision you don't make unless something's shifted. I don't know. Do you think cancelling the check was too far? Or was that the moment the friendship changed anyway? Thanks for judging that one with me on Am I the Arsehole But Zen. Let's see if your verdict changes next time.